Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Many people pride themselves on being seemingly fearless. If you tell a prepper they do what they do because they're scared, some react as if you've insulted them in the worst way possible. It's become unmanly to be afraid. It's treated as a mark of weakness. It typically feeds into a young man's bravado on online forums where people throw around words like alpha, sigma, and, my personal favorite, ligma. Everyone sees themselves as the person charging towards the sound of conflict, stoic in the face of possible death and injury, the ones who's calmly thinking of solutions to complex problems. If you thought this would be a gotcha moment where I say it's okay to lose your mind and crap your pants, no. It's absolutely not okay to lose control of yourself. And despite the accusations of projection, some of those people who tell you to suck it up may be who they actually say they are. Real life is complex and messy. Some of those people may have been through horrific experiences through war, crime, extreme poverty, and other situations where survival is more than storing dried food. People may have years of experience. They're just bad at communicating effectively, and it all sounds like chest beating and bluster. Let's be fair, it is the internet after all. I remember the first time I was in a turret with no side panels for armor. I felt exposed, extremely vulnerable. And I was. I did have a fear of IEDs, but after a while it was just another place in the vehicle to be. At some point, the danger became routine, and the fear was no longer the dominant feeling. You begin to understand what signals danger down the road. From there, you can control your emotions and responses to stimuli better than the first time. It's repeated exposure, inoculation, normalization. The baseline shifts, and now the world is a different place for you. This shouldn't only be applied to a combat setting. Allowing fear and caution to dictate the start of a learning curve is important in other aspects of life. Starting a new career, receiving a promotion, understanding your local issues and taking the steps to remedy problems. You begin feeding a thought process that allows you to grow and progress. And until you accept that many things are still within the realm of your control, no matter how bad the situation may be, you won't move past the fear and anger cycle. Like Sisyphus rolling his boulder up the hill again and again, the cycle of fear that crashes down into anger and blame keeps you trapped from going forward. You fear what might be next if you move on. Being trapped in the fear and anger cycle is stability in a sense because now the world is predictable. I don't fault people for craving stability. And they do, whether they realize it or not. Nature attempts to balance into a state of homeostasis. Human nature is part of that. Prepping, in its most base sense, is ensuring the continuity of a human or group of humans and their culture and beliefs. If there is no active participation in trying to remedy a situation, it becomes easier to say bad things happen because the world is terrible and that it's impossible to fight against, making it easier to excuse many of these negative things away. Order and change come from actors who see something and begin to engage it, first by themselves, then with others. Moving towards solutions is part of mastering a fear.
Out here today with the San Diego River Park Foundation and the Recycle for Veterans organizations. We just did a riverbed cleanup, picked up a few truckloads of trash all morning. This is a really eye-opening experience seeing how much trash is in our riverbeds.
Creating solutions is harder than complaining about them and then continuing on with your day. This is what most people do. The reason that prepping and survival gets such a negative view is that the average person will only see the cycle of fear and anger. These people tend to be the loudest in the group. To the average person, without the same base of knowledge, it looks like paranoia. Build yourselves and influence your region. Start small. Be known as the neighborhood watchdog, the facilitator of business meetings, or an influential educator. The more that people recognize you as a cornerstone of the community, the more people will be open to hearing your concerns and assisting you actively.
Where government fails, community must come together. So here we go. Let's get this out of here.
You don't have to choose between being a man of action who acts first and then thinks later, or being an intellectual that just has ideas. Conquer your fear of inadequacy and be both. Take control of your life and the culture around you. If not, you'll let others dictate how you'll live. Prepping is only one small part of survival. Fear is a gift. Fear failure so much that you strive to do everything you can to ensure that you don't. Until the next video, be good, stay safe, and have a good one.